There is one thing that I absolutely detest: your lies. Not because they fool me, not because I am incapable of seeing beyond the words that leave your lips or the smile you place upon your face when you want the world to believe that everything is fine. I detest them because every lie you tell creates another wall between us, another layer of distance where closeness once existed, another shadow in a place that was meant to be filled with light. You may believe you hide your truth successfully. You may think that if you repeat the same story often enough, eventually it becomes reality. But I have always known you differently. I know the person who laughs loudly while carrying sadness in silence. I know the person who says, "I'm okay," while fighting tears alone at night. I know the person who claims not to care while secretly hoping someone will notice the pain hidden behind their eyes. And that is why your lies hurt me, not because they deceive me, because they reveal how little trust you have in allowing someone to stand beside you while you are imperfect. You think you must appear strong. You think vulnerability is weakness. You think admitting fear means losing control. But strength was never about pretending that wounds do not exist. Strength is allowing someone to see the scars and still believing they will stay. I never expected perfection from you. I never asked you to have every answer. I never demanded that your life be organized, peaceful, or free from confusion. I simply wanted honesty. Honesty when you were angry. Honesty when you were exhausted. Honesty when you doubted yourself. Honesty when you felt lost. Because honesty creates connection. Lies create isolation. Every time you say you do not need anyone while secretly wishing someone would hold your hand, you imprison yourself. Every time you insist that your heart is untouched while remembering old memories that still make your chest ache, you deny yourself healing. Every time you convince others that you have moved on while carrying unresolved emotions inside your soul, you delay your own freedom. You do not have to impress me. You do not have to perform. You do not have to become someone extraordinary. You already matter exactly as you are. The tired version of you matters. The uncertain version of you matters. The emotional version of you matters. Even the version of you that feels broken deserves love. I wish you understood that. I wish you understood how exhausting it is to watch someone beautiful spend years pretending to be someone else. I wish you knew how many opportunities have passed because fear convinced you to hide. People cannot love the person you pretend to be forever. Eventually masks become heavy. Eventually roles become unbearable. Eventually the character you created begins to suffocate the person you truly are. And then one day you wake up wondering why you feel lonely despite being surrounded by people. The answer is simple. No one truly knows you. They know the version you designed for survival. They know the personality you developed to avoid disappointment. They know the smile you use to distract others from asking difficult questions. But they do not know your deepest dreams. They do not know the songs that remind you of your childhood. They do not know the fears that keep you awake. They do not know how sensitive your heart actually is, because you never allowed them to know. And perhaps you learned this behavior long ago. Maybe someone mocked your tears. Maybe someone betrayed your confidence. Maybe someone abandoned you after promising they never would. Maybe someone taught you that love is conditional. If that happened, I understand. Truly, I do. Pain changes people. Disappointment teaches caution. Heartbreak creates hesitation. Loss convinces us to guard ourselves. But surviving pain should never require abandoning authenticity. There is a difference between protecting your peace and hiding your truth. One empowers you, the other imprisons you. I am not asking you to share every secret with every person. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Some people are only meant to know your name. Some are only meant to know your smile. Some are only meant to witness a brief chapter of your life. But when someone consistently shows patience, understanding, and compassion, perhaps they deserve more than carefully edited stories. Perhaps they deserve honesty, even if your voice trembles, even if your hands shake, even if tears fall unexpectedly. Because real intimacy begins where pretending ends. Think about all the moments when you wanted someone to understand you. Think about every night you wished someone would say exactly the right words. Think about every occasion you felt invisible. Now ask yourself one question. How could anyone understand the person you truly are if you keep introducing them to someone who does not exist? You deserve relationships where truth is welcomed. You deserve conversations where silence is not judged. You deserve connections that do not require constant performance. And yes, there will always be risks. Some people will disappoint you. Some people will misunderstand you. Some people will leave. But people leave masks too. People walk away from performances. People abandon false images. At least when someone leaves after seeing your authentic self, you know they rejected nothing fabricated. They simply were not meant to remain. That realization can hurt, but it also creates space. Space for people who appreciate your honesty. Space for people who admire your resilience. Space for people who see your sensitivity as a gift rather than a burden. You have spent so much time trying to become acceptable, trying to become lovable, trying to become enough, yet you have always been enough, not because you never make mistakes, not because you always choose wisely, not because you possess extraordinary talents. You are enough because your existence has value independent of achievement, independent of approval, independent of success, independent of admiration. There will never be another person exactly like you, another person. With your combination of memories, your laughter, your fears, your hopes, your imagination, your experiences, your perspective, and that uniqueness deserves honesty, it deserves expression. It deserves freedom, so stop apologizing for feeling deeply. Stop pretending that disappointment does not affect you. Stop saying yes when your heart screams no. Stop minimizing your dreams because others cannot understand them. Stop acting indifferent toward people you genuinely care about. Stop hiding affection. Stop hiding sadness. Stop hiding joy. Stop hiding yourself. Life is already uncertain. Tomorrow is never guaranteed. There are conversations left unfinished. There are hugs never given. There are words never spoken. There are hearts waiting for courage. Do not allow fear to become the author of your story. Become brave enough to tell the truth. Become brave enough to admit when you miss someone. Become brave enough to ask for help. Become brave enough to confess that sometimes you feel overwhelmed. become brave enough to say that you are trying your best, because your best is enough, and perhaps one day you will look back at this season of your life. You will remember the energy spent maintaining illusions. You will remember the anxiety of constantly protecting an image. You will remember the exhaustion of pretending. And then you will smile, not because everything became perfect, but because eventually you chose honesty, you chose peace, you chose authenticity, you chose yourself, and in doing so, you discovered that the people who truly belong in your life never needed perfection. They never required endless strength. They never demanded flawless decisions. They only wanted access to the real